Welcome to the Halley Elise Show, featuring your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise. She is an author, psychic, and media personality, and has been listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Good evening, everyone. Glad you could tune in tonight, whether you are in the air or you're watching the live web feed. But it's nice to have you here. You just got me tonight, so that means if you want a reading, you can call in. Normally we do the third Monday of the month, but I have a very special guest that's going to be on next week, a new author that's going to give you a different view on consciousness. And so that means our third week, we're not doing the psychic readings, we're doing it this evening. Let me give you the number. It's 888-565-1470. One more time, that's 888-565-1470. I find it interesting. A lot of times I will get phone calls after the show. People want to know about office rates and different hours and when I'm doing the gallery. Really, the easiest way to do that is to take a look at my website. It's HalleyElise.com, and that's HalleyElise.com. So before we dive into taking phone calls or doing any number of things, because there's a lot going on here at the station this evening, I wanted to share something. I think some of you know I'm on another station, which I probably shouldn't say while I'm here, but I'm going to anyways, on Tuesday mornings. So you catch me on WNN Monday nights, and then Tuesday mornings at 8:15, you'll catch me on WBZT, which is I have to think about that for a minute, 12:30 a.m. radio. Not 12:30 a.m. as in the morning, 12:30 a.m. on the dial. So 8:15 a.m. in the morning. For those of you who know me, know I don't do mornings. I must really like this. Actually, I do. We're having a ball. So you can tune into the Steve-O and Renee morning show Tuesday mornings and catch me on the air and call in for readings then. Or obviously when I do readings on the Halley Elise show on Monday nights, you can call in. So you have a couple of opportunities. Anyways, I wanted to share something. I'm trying to see the name there. Yay, thank you. It's always a little bit of glare, when you're trying to catch what the name is. Anywho, we'll get to our caller in just a moment, but I wanted to share something. Last week, I think it was on the other station, actually. I'm pretty sure it was. One of the hosts asked if I ever, did anything phenomenal or extraordinary or what have you. And I think really anytime you deliver information that's accurate, that's pretty extraordinary, because for the person that you're delivering the information to, they benefit, whether that's about somebody coming into their life, or it has to do with money, or it has to do with wellness, whatever it is. Anyways, I had a client who came in, I'm trying to think what day it was last week. I believe it was Wednesday. And I hadn't seen her in a year, and she sat down, and the first thing out of her mouth, I swear, was, "You saved my life." And I went, "Excuse me?" Now, I get this once in a while. I'll get a letter, or I'll have a spouse write a note about something, but I've not had an actual client come back to the office and say that. So it's, if you will, a little disconcerting. So I said, "Explain to me what you're talking about." And she said, "Well, last year when I was here, you were insistent that I go to the doctor and I get my breast checked." And I did, and they found a lump. Now, the interesting thing was the lump actually was not the problem. When they did the scan, they found two large masses on my back. And the doctor said, had I not gotten in when I did, it would have moved into the bone and I might not be here. I was like, wow, how amazing is that? And so that it's not a matter of me tooting my own horn. It really is a matter of, again, delivering information, because once it's out, meaning I don't remember exactly what I've said to every person that comes in the office. I don't remember exactly what transpires over the phone or at a gallery. It's just a matter of allowing the information to flow. And I share that for two reasons. One, because sometimes you listen to information and think it has no validity, but whether it's me, somebody else, if someone is insisting that you go get a checkup, do it. What's the worst that could happen? They could be wrong, right? But on the other end, it could be like this lady, no idea that there's something going on, didn't feel anything, and found something, and because she got in early enough, everything is good. So something to really listen to and pay attention to. Okay. So I think we have Yvonne on the phone, if she's still holding on. Yes, Kenny? Thank you. If you'll put her through. Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Did you have a specific question for this evening?
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Do me a favor, take just one deep breath here, and I'll tap in. Okay. One of the first things that pops in is sleep. It's kind of underrated in your world, and it really needs to become a priority. And the reason I say that is I feel like when you do sleep, it's restless. And I also feel like there is a push to actually sleep, meaning like your body is craving more sleep, more rest. So if you're unable to get that rest at night, when most of us do go to sleep, see if you can't start planning midday, or even, if you will, early evening, to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes for yourself and just close your eyes and meditate, or put on some relaxing music, but do something that helps your body relax a little bit more. I feel like there's stress or strain. I'm actually leaning towards the word strain more than stress on your body right now. It feels like it has to do with being concerned with other people in your environment more so than yourself. And it feels to me as if, again, rest is really important. You can't help anybody else unless you help yourself first. So that's the top thing that pops up. The second thing that pops up here is really learning how to be a little kinder to you. You're one of those individuals who is so admirable, because when anybody else needs something, if you can do it for them, you will. You are like the first one to say, oh, I can do it. But you're not always as kind to yourself, and it's really important. And it's funny because there's a corollary here between not getting rest and where your mind is going. We're in October. Yes, I'm going to go back to August. It, to me, feels as if there's some sort of transition that took place in August, and you're in a cycle that's going to run all the way through till, I'm going to say, mid-January. That has to do with, if you will change, it has to do with restlessness. It has to do with, I'm going to say, the need to really focus upon what is more important for you versus externally, think internally, meaning be more contemplative about the self. Ask yourself questions such as, what is it that's going to make me happy in this moment? What is it that I need to do that's going to give me more fulfillment for tomorrow versus this is what I need to do, this is what I have to do. During this cycle, if you will, energetically, it really is a push to reveal more of yourself, to allow personal epiphanies to come forth, to take advantage of your own power. Does any of this make any sense?
The tired, yes. Yes.
Okay, the tired, yes. That's it. Well,
yeah, because I know it's like I know I have a hard time sleeping, because I'll sleep for 3 or 4 hours, and that's good enough for me. Because I have so much going on.
Right. Well, see,
but it's like I've been like that for a very long time.
Okay, so just bear with me here for a minute. For me to pick it up, even though you feel like you're high functioning with only 3 or 4 hours, what I'm sensing is, as far as on a cellular level, on a physical level, the body's actually asking for more rest. So that's why I said, if you can plan in your day, 10, 15 minutes, whether you meditate, whether you put your feet up and listen to nice music, whether you close your eyes and just do deep breathing, it would really be of benefit to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
right.
As far as that concern, that overwhelm, if you will, mentally with everybody else, I think you have to remember, even though you know this logically and intellectually, that you really don't have any power of changing anything for anyone else. You can make a suggestion, you can be supportive, you can be loving, but if they're not willing to do it for themselves, or they're not willing to find the way, you really can't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make a little suggestion here for the people that are in your world that, if you will, have your mind so occupied. Perhaps you can start asking them certain questions about what their intention is to make a change, or, what do they feel that they need to make that change? And if the answer is, well, I never get a break, it really, it just doesn't happen, perhaps ask them, what is it that's good in their life right now? Because what I'm getting is you're kind of surrounded by very nice people, but they're not allowing themselves to see their own brilliance. They're not allowing themselves to see their own, I'm going to say, ability to make things happier and better in their world. And as a result, I feel like you absorb that. And again, that to me has something to do with the restlessness that's taking place.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But just know that by January, there is a change as far as cycle-wise. And at that point, you're going to notice a big difference in your world. Some of the people that you've been really focused on, they are either going to do one of two things. Either they're going to make a big transition for themselves independent of you, or you will find that they are not going to need as much of your time because they found other outlets. So that's kind of a positive.
Oh, okay.
All right. I thank you for calling in, Yvonne. Have a great night.
Thank you. You
My
too.
pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So I do want to clarify something because a lot of times people call and they're like, well, tell me what you got. And they have a thought in their head as to what they think they're supposed to get or what they want to get, but they don't ask for it. And then if I don't give them that information, they're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. So here you have this opportunity. If you call in and you want to ask a question or you want to know about something, ask a question because I'll go directly there. Otherwise, I'll go to wherever, if you will, the spirit moves me to go because that's kind of how it works. When you're doing a minute or two session, it's not the same as sitting with somebody for an hour in the office or on the phone, where you tap into a myriad of different topics and you can go from one thing to the next to the next. It was cute. I had a lady who got my number from one of her friends who's been a client for many, many years, and she called, and as soon as she said hello, I went, oh, romance, and she starts laughing hysterically. And I said to her, what are you being so rough for? And she starts laughing, and I said, seriously, leave the poor guy alone. I said, if you give yourself a breather, everything's going to be fine. And anyway, she ended up saying, yeah, you're right. I've been picking on him about everything. I'm making him crazy. So it's kind of funny. Let me just see who else is on the line. If you move it that way, Kenny. Denise. Okay, thank you. Hi, Denise. How are you?
Hi, good.
Did you have a question for me this evening?
Yes. I just want to know, I just had a discussion with a friend of mine about something related to Bolivia, and I just want to know if, the way she kind of said things shocked me. I was surprised. I didn't expect that from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that real, or was she just like, it just didn't seem real?
Okay, I feel like, if you will, in part it's real, but how some people have to elaborate or fabricate. They have to make it bigger so that it sounds, has more of an impact. I get the sense that's what she's doing. It's more about influencing you than it is about the truth, though. So when it comes to this particular situation, I would suggest you listen to your own instinct because you're correct here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I am going to say, too, there's something going on with you in respect to finances. In all sincerity, it's really important that you start taking a look at what you have. And every penny that you have to start saying, I have money, instead of I don't have enough. Really and truly, if you have 3 cents in your pocket and that's all you've had for a week, look at it and go, hey, I've got 3 cents. Reason being, if you raise your own vibration, you're going to notice that you attract more money. And I don't mean as far as just finding it, but I mean as far as vehicles for you to generate more income. I feel like you are multi-talented and you're really not using your talent right now. It feels to me like you're spinning your wheels. You're going from thing to thing, hoping that this is going to work. And the overall impression really is it's more about, if you will, your relationship to money than it is your skill set.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I did have, like I have right now, I have the possibility of, lots of money, but in small parcels.
Right.
And it would take a long time, and it actually hurts my body to do it. So it involves a lot of computer work, and it's really not fun.
No, but what you can do is think in terms of what am I able to do now, and give yourself a deadline. So, for instance, let's say you know that if you did this for the next 2 years, it would be difficult. But if you did it for 2 or 3 months, you could manage. And while you were doing this for this short period of time, every time money came in, you went, oh, isn't this great? I've got more money. And while you were working, you also sought out things that make you more comfortable. I feel like you could be an excellent teacher. It's you just haven't put yourself in that position, meaning that you could direct others to do what you do instead of you doing it. So perhaps you would take a look in that direction. It would be easier as far as the work, and actually the pay would even be higher than what you're considering.
Mm-hmm. The teaching's not really the way that I was going.
No, I know it's a different direction, but what I'm trying to share is it would not be as laborious for you, and it would be more financially abundant. So just give it some consideration. It does, even with this, even though this is, if you will, your area of expertise, I don't feel like this is what you're meant to do for the rest of your life. I really don't. I feel like this is, we are in 2015. Yes? I'm going to say by the middle of 2016, I'm going to say end of May, actually, I get you in a totally different position. So at least for now, think short term, think get in, get out. Think about, okay, if I do this particular thing, how does it make me feel? Anything that you feel that you can physically do short term, be open to.
Right.
But at the same time, give some consideration to reinventing yourself, because I really don't feel like you're going to be doing this by the middle of next year.
Oh, I'm working on reinventing myself, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just focus really and truly on every penny that comes in, and make a big deal in your head. Do the happy dance. You ever see the hamster? He does a little happy dance and he sings. Get that image in your mind every time a penny comes in, $1, $100, whatever it is. Get that happy dance going, because what you'll do is you'll reset your thinking about money. You'll find that it's easier to get money to come to you. It's almost like you magnetize it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, we're going to take a quick break, and we will return this evening. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 to have a psychic question answered or a little mini reading. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Wow, this looks really great. Gosh, I've got to stop talking to myself. The Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of every month, 7:30 p.m., here in Boca Raton. De-stress, connect with intuitive abilities, laugh, learn about psychic phenomena, and get psychic messages? Psychic messages? Woo! Where's the price? Here it is. Only $25 at the door? Awesome! How do I sign up? Oh, easy. Go to HalleyElise.com. Nice. $5 off online? Oh, I've got to call the girls and tell them about the Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of the month. Great time. 7:30 p.m. Perfect. Have to remember HalleyElise.com for the Psychic Gallery.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Good evening. If you are first tuning in tonight, we're doing things a little differently. Usually it's the third Monday of the month that we do psychic questions on the air, but I switched it around. After all, the show is the Halley Elise Show. Well, what can I tell you? It was one of those evenings. Actually, I've got a wonderful guest who's going to be on next week, and I'm going to keep it a secret. You'll have to look on Facebook and check your email and Twitter and LinkedIn to see who it is, but it's a lovely lady who will be talking about consciousness. I don't know, I've been like this, tongue-tied on and off this week. Something's going on in the planets. Speaking of, I have to get in touch with one of my gal pals who does astrology, because I've spoken with several people of late who seem to have the same thing, restlessness as far as sleep, which is interesting. We just had a lady who phoned in who has been experiencing that, but hers has been longer term than what I'm talking about. This has been, I don't know, for several months, but most recently the past week. And there's always this pull for those who are sensitive. And what I mean by that as far as sensitive is, if you're one of those people who walks into a room and you know right off the bat that somebody's angry, or you know right off the bat that this is going to be a great time, you're sensitive. If you walk into a shop and it feels good when you walk in, or it doesn't feel good when you walk in, again, you're sensitive. Or you just know, you just have that sentient feeling. You're probably one of those people also who, when there's a gravitational pull from the moon, or there's some sort of planetary change, that you feel it. You don't always know. And what I mean by that is you could have a headache and think, oh, wow, why do I have a headache? I never get headaches. And all of a sudden there's a headache, and there's something going on in the planets. So I have several dear friends who thankfully know about astrology, not my area of expertise. So I'll have to ask them. Hopefully one of them is watching, and I'll get a phone call later, and that way I can share online. But anyways, what I would suggest is if you're finding that you are not sleeping, check out what's going on in astrology, or actually sit down, get quiet, and meditate. And if you're saying, oh, meditation, yeah, it sounds good, but not really my gig, I can't get quiet, I can't close my mind off, it just doesn't work. Well, think in terms of meditation as distracting yourself, because really the art of meditation has more to do with shifting your consciousness than anything else. When you shift that consciousness into a more relaxed state, you allow yourself to connect with that higher realm. You allow yourself to connect with that part of you that has all the answers. So if you are able to do that, then you can say, why am I not sleeping? Now, if you're asking, well, Halley, if you just said you weren't sleeping, how come you're not doing it for yourself? The truth is, I've been so busy. No, I'm just kidding. I have actually sat down and not have an answer, but I'm not going to share that on the air. Too many other things going on. But I do try to meditate at least once a day. On occasion, I miss it. When I do miss it, I do take prayer time, though, and I do that before I go to sleep every night. I do it in the morning, actually on and off all day. You've heard me say, that I'll kind of go into that prayer state. So if I don't have the opportunity to sit down for 20 or 30 minutes and meditate, I do on and off all day go into that place of peace. And it's really good because of the work that I do. I'm always playing with energies and always, if you will, intermingling with other people's energies. So it's good to take that quiet time and get centered, take that quiet time and just connect with environment. It's really great for those who say, that sounds great, but have you ever seen the movie Pretty Woman? There's a scene there at one point, she drags him outside and she makes him take off his shoes and walk in the grass. Believe it or not, just doing something like that can totally shift what's taking place in your world. It shifts your mind, it shifts your body. When you have that ability to connect with the earth, you have that ability to connect with nature, even for a few minutes, it empowers you to release and let go of what's not working in that moment. And it also reawakens that part of you that has answers, that really knows what to look for. Now, I guess the distinction here is you have to not second guess yourself. If you are contemplating something, and let's say you've had a hard time, and you go out into nature and you take that moment, and then you get a different thought that pops in or a different feeling, and you're saying, well, why would I think that? Why would I feel that? The truth is, in that moment, you really should be paying attention because you just changed everything. You stopped what you were doing. You shifted your conscious state. You allowed yourself for a moment or a second to hear or to sense or to feel. Take advantage of that. Really pay attention. I always have a blast when I do the psychic gallery because when people come in, we do a little bit of distressing. We do a little, and let me clarify that, de-stressing, not like as in faux finishing, de-stressing as in letting go of stress. That just didn't come out quite right. But we do that. We play a little bit with energy. We have the opportunity to tap into our own intuitive abilities, as in not just me, but people who come out. I always direct them with an energy exercise so that they can see their own abilities. And what's really cool is everybody always gets something. But what you have to remember when you do that type of thing is not to overthink it. So if you're sitting with someone and you're thinking, wow, why do I keep getting the feeling that there's sadness all around them? If it's somebody you know, you can ask them, obviously. If it's somebody you don't know, do something nice. Ask them something that'll make them smile or give them a compliment and see how they respond. What I find is most of the time when I pick up on someone who's sad and it's somebody I don't know and I do whatever, act silly or turn on music or somehow find something to compliment them on, they usually respond with, thank you, I really needed that. And that's all you have to do. And to sharpen your own skill set, it really is as simple as that, paying attention. You don't have to observe every single thing that's around you, but if you have an observation that comes in and it seems unusual or it seems different or just seems foreign to what you normally would interact with, acknowledge it. As soon as you acknowledge it, you actually set into motion a part of your brain that will actively seek out more of the same. We were always talking about what you focus on expands, and science has shown this, and I repeat this over and over and over again, I think to the point of ad nauseum because I say it so often. But the reason that I say it so often is so that if you're one of those people that needs to hear things a million times, and Fran, if you're watching, yes, I am talking to you, then pay attention. You shouldn't have to get hit in the head 20 times to know that if you're going left and it's not working, you should stop doing it. If you hear something, if you sense something, if for some reason every time you walk into a particular place your stomach feels funny, pay attention to it. That is your higher knowing trying to let you hear, let you feel, let you sense that there's something to notice, that there is something to observe, that there is something to act upon. Not really all that difficult. It's more a matter of, are you willing? Now, there are a lot of people that will say, oh, as a kid, I knew things, I felt things, I really didn't pay attention, or I closed it off, and they want to know how to reopen it. It really is that simple as what I just said, paying attention. I talk often about if there's a elevator or if there is a street light, guessing. And if you think, oh, guessing doesn't mean anything, how does that actually help you tap into your intuitive ability? But it does mean something, because in that moment, it's not really a guess. See, that right hemisphere of our brain is that part of our brain that connects with the abstract. It connects with the creative. It connects with those things that are not concrete. And if it's not concrete, that means you have the power and the ability to connect with that which is outside of yourself, as well as that which is deep within, because it's not linear. And that means that, yes, there is a connective tissue to intuitive knowing. So pay attention. And the more that you do it, the more you celebrate it. The more that you celebrate it, the more that part of your mind goes, oh, is this what you wanted? I can give you more of that. If there's something, for instance, that was really amazing to you as a kid, and for some reason, as an adult, I don't know, it seems to elude you, then sit down and write it out. And as you write it out, see if you can't imagine being back in that same space. Watch what happens. You have the ability to open up doors very easily. It does not have to be complicated. If you want more information on my Psychic Apprenticeship program, you can contact me online, or you can actually take a look at HalleyElise.com. I think what's on the site right now is about the Psychic Apprenticeship program specifically for business, because it's great to have a strong psychic acumen for business, and that you have those gut feelings, that knowing that, yes, you have to go left or right or what have you. I was with my accountant the other night, and she's trained with me. It's amazing how her business has blossomed as a result. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in on a regular basis. We'll see you next week on the Halley Elise Show. Have a great night, folks. Bye-bye.
Be enchanted and delighted. Connect each week here on WNN for the Halley Elise Show. Also on Facebook and at HalleyElise.com. Thanks for tuning in.